Hello and welcome. My name is Evgeny Rusakov and you are watching TVP World interview from Vilnius. Today we focus on the human rights situation in Belarus, a country where thousands have been imprisoned for their political views and civic activity. Our guest today is Kanstantsin Staradubets, a human rights defender from the Viasna Human Rights Center. Konstantin, thank you for joining us today, sir. Glad to see you.
Thank you for the invite, Evgeny.
To begin with, what's the situation with human rights in Belarus at this specific moment?
Unfortunately, no good news. It's still critical. The people in Belarus are still routinely, daily persecuted, including for the events of 5 years ago, which indicates that the government is not capable of turning over the page in their own words. They are not able to forgive and to forget. We still have people standing trials and going to prison for actually doing nothing. At least 100 cases documented by Viasna in September alone. The numbers are devastating. We know of at least 7,500 persons who received actual criminal convictions on politically motivated grounds since 2020.
And I have to mention here that this is what you know of.
Exactly. The situation today is the fear in the society is so paralyzing that people are afraid to contact the media, to contact human rights defenders. As a result, we always have to bear that in mind when we refer to any numbers referring to the scale of repression, the number of political prisoners, for example.
So literally, that means that when you mention all those numbers, in reality, those numbers could be way bigger.
They are bigger. We don't know by how much, but they are bigger, that's for sure.
Okay. Let's move on. So the annual OSCE Human Rights Conference is now taking place in Warsaw, and one of the side events was titled Paths to Accountability for Belarus. So could you please tell us more about this specific event?
Well, this event was organized by the International Accountability Platform for Belarus, of which Viasna is a co-founder. This is a central piece in the process of seeking accountability and justice for the victims of repression in Belarus. This event was aimed at launching a report that the platform prepared to review possible ways of achieving accountability in today's circumstances and in the future, because as of today we can see that hundreds and thousands of victims cry for justice, and they cannot achieve it today, and that inflicts additional suffering. The report suggests that states should take responsibility for example, for following Lithuania's example and supporting its submission to the International Criminal Court, which is now pending before the prosecutor's office of the ICC. That's only one of possible avenues of achieving accountability, but there are others, like universal jurisdiction, where isolated European states can prosecute those responsible for the grave human rights violations in Belarus.
But again, how effective are those measures?
It depends on defining effectiveness, of course. For one thing, they take a long time, and unfortunately, it takes decades. We can refer to the cases of similar dictatorships, Syria and Myanmar. Those responsible stood trials many years after those dictatorships fell. Most probably, this is the case of Belarus. We will have to wait a very long time to see at least someone responsible on trial. How effective it will be, it is a question of the future, including it depends on how the justice, transitional justice in Belarus will look like, whether the new government of Belarus will be able to prosecute those responsible en masse on a large scale.
Do you think those people that, that were those political prisoners and their relatives, do you think they are ready to wait for so long?
This is not an assumption. We know the facts. We did a separate report, Viasna, as part of the International Accountability Platform, on how victims of ill treatment and torture perceive accountability and justice. And surprisingly enough, many people do not want retribution. They are okay with at least knowing that they are safe, they are healthy, and they are okay.
Like, leave me alone and
right.
don't bother me.
So it's not, many people don't want blood. They want peace and a normal life.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, coming back to that conference in Warsaw, and former political prisoner Oksana Kolb took part in that side event, in that discussion, and shared some truly heartbreaking stories. So could you please shed more light on those ones?
Yeah, that is indeed heartbreaking what Oksana told during the event. She told about a political prisoner herself. She told about a cellmate, a woman, the mother of 3, who got 5 years for simply supporting political prisoners.
Simply supporting.
Sending them parcels with, so that they can, or money, so that they can buy food in prison.
She got 5 years for that?
Yeah. Another man got 8 years for doing the same. And a person she knows is on trial for taking pictures of Russian military vehicles. And the sentence he's facing is enormous, probably 10 years. Just a few examples of what people are enduring in Belarus for innocent people, for just caring, for supporting others, for being innocent and ended up in prison for many years.
Okay, another former political prisoner, Andrei Chepyuk, described how inmates are pressured to sign pardon petitions. So why does the regime need those petitions? Is it about creating an illusion of mercy, or what is it about then?
Probably it is about mercy or looking merciful. It is
in
also,
the eyes of the Western politicians, Western society.
in the eyes of the supporters of this regime, in the eyes of those who follow events in Belarus from outside the country as well. It is also, I think it is also about this desire of the government, of the regime, to extort from the people this repentance. They want people to repent, to confess. This is a matter
they were wrong and the regime is good.
That they're criminals, right. They were wrong, they were corrected in prison, reformed, and now they are sorry and they want to start a new life free. It is also essential that not all prisoners are forced to do that. The recent group of those who were pardoned and deported to Lithuania, many of them did not sign petitions for pardon. That shows that pardon is not a necessary condition for being released in today's Belarus.
By the way, talking about that last case, Nikolai Statkevich was the one who refused to enter Lithuania. He stayed for some time on the Lithuanian-Belarusian border, and then some people in masks just came, took him, and he disappeared. Do you think this exact case could somehow bring difficulties in further in further, I don't know, in further actions like this, in further events like this?
We cannot know for sure, but probably yes, because that was a brave act, but it definitely broke the deal between the U.S. and the regime. So now the Belarusian authorities, the repressive apparatus, will have to think on ways how to prevent that in the future, because some of the key political figures still in prison are totally capable of doing the same.
For example, who's that? Kolesnikov?
Kolesnikov is one of them, definitely. So yeah, that's a problem for the regime.
Okay, let's move to another interesting topic. So today, more than 600 people in Belarus are officially labeled as terrorists, and about 6,000 people as extremists. So what's the real difference between these two, and what does that mean in practice?
Well, both labels are equally scary, especially for those readers or online users who are not familiar with the realities of today's Belarus. Being labeled a terrorist would scare off a lot of people, including politicians in the West. And we've seen examples, the sad examples of that. The key difference is that so-called terrorists, who are not terrorists at all, of course, they face much more restrictions on their activities, and rights, both while they serve their sentences and after their release. For example, these so-called terrorists are not allowed to receive money, additional money, on their prison accounts from outside the prison. That means that they cannot buy essential foodstuffs or some other necessities.
Let's move on to our last topic briefly. So the year is coming to an end. This year is coming to an end, and it might be too early for conclusions, but still, what are your main takeaways so far, and what do you expect for the next year?
Well, the main takeaways is that the trends that persisted during the year, they mainly repeated those of previous years. And it looks like we will have the same things happening in the future. We haven't yet seen any signals from the authorities, any tangible evidence that they are ready to lessen the scale of repression, to stop it, after all, for good. So we will probably have more political prisoners, while releases and pardons and deportations will also continue to happen from time to time. That is also very probable. But the level of repression will remain the same. People will continue to die in prisons. We actually had one more sad case during the past month. A Russian national died in prison under very unclear circumstances, probably suicide. We will still have torture in prison. We'll still have people going to jail for supporting political prisoners, for taking pictures of the Russian military personnel and vehicles, and many other things that they are considered illegal in today's Belarus, including commenting online, for example.
Well, by saying this, I have to just to add that the system is devouring itself from within, and nothing more I could say than just let's hope that me and you, will see its downfall one day.
Let's hope that this is our utmost desire and hope for the future of Belarus and us.
Kanstantsin, thank you for joining us today, and I really hope to see you once again in our studio.
Thank you.
And I would like to remind our viewers that our guest for today was a human rights defender from Center Viasna, Kanstantsin Staradubets. You're watching TVP World. Stay with us.